I say we start off with the Disney story. I think that's the story I want to start off with. Okay.
We have some comments here.
Did we get any
I
guesses?
see. A lot of people are actually getting it pretty right. Some people are saying some ludicrous numbers. Anyways, let's have fun with this. By the way, when's the last time you went to Disneyland?
Probably like 3-4 years ago.
Okay, when's the last time you went to Disneyland?
2016 for senior year.
Easter.
Easter?
Good
Really?
God,
Okay,
Kai,
so
you're
Easter.
young.
Last time we went to Disneyland, I want to say 3 years ago. We went to Disneyland with the kids. 2 years ago, something like that. 3 years ago, went to Disneyland.
It was
okay.
a shocking experience.
Good or bad?
Bad.
Really? In what way?
Well, they don't have fast passes anymore, or they didn't have fast passes during the COVID protocol.
Got it.
They had limited capacity, which was BS because the place was full. But you just sit in lines. You just sit
You
in
went there
these-
post-COVID?
During COVID.
Oh, during.
Easter.
Oh,
Easter.
okay.
Yeah.
Land or world?
Here.
Okay,
world.
we're talking
Okay.
about Disneyland, though,
Yeah,
right?
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Got it. But the fact that you don't have a speed pass, that's a very different experience.
No
No.
kidding. When you're
Especially-
used to it at every
especially
amusement
when
park you
they're
go to now.
Dude, it's not a good experience without a speed pass.
They're not paying me to say it, but Universal Studios, the whole experience was better, just because you could get the speed.
Universal's amazing.
Let me put it to you this way: 10 out of 10. I prefer Universal Studios over Disney. It's not even close, by the way, for me. I even have a good time as a parent going there
Yes,
over Disneyland.
it's fun.
Yeah.
The one in LA is great too because films have been filmed there. Shonda and I, here's how we did Disney. With kids, you got to have a strategy, right? So we would roll into downtown Disney, right? Because then you could valet park. Because I hate the shuttle there. So you valet park.
Slick.
You go into the first
Yep.
bar/restaurant you see. You have a couple shots. All right, that's what we did. Then you could get your parking validated.
By the way,
Dash has a shot.
By the way, it's 10
Oh,
a.m.
in downtown Disneyland.
Yeah.
So you go down there.
No, your kids. They're 11 years old.
just
They have
me
a
and-
tequila
no,
shot.
no,
the
Not-
kids,
not
or
the
no,
kids.
just the
I
adults,
was about
right?
to say, man, don't say that on national. YouTube
I
Live.
can see Dash being like that. Let's go get some shots.
Yeah, right.
I can see him saying that.
Yo, pops, I'm buying today. I got you.
He's got the money, by the
Yeah,
way.
no kidding. I'll be over with Snow White later, but let me hook you up with a little
Yeah.
shot right now. So then we do the Disneyland thing, and our reaction after a day at Disney is always this: loading the stroller back into the car, just dealing with it. You just look at each other and you go, "Was that fun?" I mean, you have to go, did we even enjoy ourselves?
Yeah.
No.
Disney's a challenge, man. It's rough.
No, it's that. Remember that show Survivor? That's like what it is. When you get to the other end, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, we made it through the whole day of combat, alive.
I have to tell you, though, for me, 10 hours goes in 5 minutes when I'm at Universal Studios. It's
yeah.
so weird.
Yeah.
10 hours goes in 5 minutes. Like this, you're like, oh my gosh, it's over. We're going home. You almost want a little bit more, but because it's very different. Anyways, let's
and there's a new roller coaster.
in Universal Studios. How's the one in Florida, by the way? I haven't been to the one in Florida.
That's where the new roller coaster's opening.
Have you been to the one in Florida?
I've
Have
never
you?
been to Disney
Has
World.
anybody here been to the one in Florida or no?
Oh,
no?
it's insane.
Really?
I rode
David has.
every
David has.
ride.
It's good?
It's amazing.
Really? Universal here in Florida.
Amazing.
I wonder how different it is than the one in California. I got to go check it out and see.
It's faster. You've got more interesting rides
Here.
Good thing.
here.
Here. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get right into it. So Disney, in 2008, Disneyland ticket cost $41. A price hike just increased it, ready, $264. Okay, that's a 4X increase is what we're talking about, okay? Disney announced Monday that it's adding a sixth level to its tiered ticket price system, a level that becomes available when there's a high demand at parks. The sixth tier will set you back $164 for a single day, single park ticket. If you want the ability to visit both parks in a single day, you'll need to pay $224. A tier 6 is set to go into effect in March of 2022. In 2000, a single ticket to Disneyland costs $41. Adjusted to inflation, ready, folks? That ticket would only be $62 today. So Disney, the inflation they're living by is a complete different. They're living by
Hyperinflation.
Venezuela type of
Yeah,
inflation is what
hyperinflation.
they're doing. Tiers 2 through 5 are also going up. Tier 2, previously $114, are going to $119. Tier 3 from $124 to $134. Tier 4 from $139 to $149. Tier 5 from $154 to $159. The first tier will remain at $109, but only applies to lowest demand days, generally weekdays in slower months like February. Parking has also increased effective immediately. It used to cost $25 a day to park in the main lots. Now it's $30. Tom, I'm going to go to you
Sure.
first.
Okay, so I think it's interesting. You got to look at what type of revenue does Disney draw from the theme parks for the whole company. It's almost 40%. And you know that thing...
40%.
40%. It's 37 or 38, almost 40. So you know that tanked during COVID, right?
Yep.
So they have to get that back. Here's another interesting fact. The guy who replaced Bob Iger was the president of the theme parks. So there's going to be a
Co-CEO.
priority
That's where
there.
his focus is.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt. Now, here's the problem. Disney has become so woke, right? And their characters have changed. And I think if you're not looking for that type of environment, if you want to go to Disneyland just to get away, to have that magical California experience that it was known for since Walt Disney opened up those gates how many years ago, that was part of the magic and the charm of California. You go there, everybody remembers their first time to Disneyland. It's a slice of Americana. It's as good as America gets. You have nothing to worry about in there. You forget about everything, and then you leave and resume your life. So when Newsom shut down the economy, that hammered all those other small businesses in Anaheim, around Disneyland. So it's a compound thing. So
78,000 jobs lost, by the way.
It's so sad. It's so tragic. I mean, these people that their whole livelihood depended on Disney. And for years they could count on it, and then they couldn't. So you've got them trying to make up for lost time for not having Disney was shut down for a year. Disney World was open probably 8 months before Disneyland.
Oh, heck yeah.
So it's a huge difference. It's sad. I'm glad my kids are old enough where they don't want to go anymore. They would much rather go to Universal. Dash went to Six Flags last week for the big Halloween fun thing. So Disney's kind of out of it for me. And it's really, I feel like it's another thing that we've lost in this whole transformation that we've gone through as a country in the last year or two.
Well, think about a whole generation of grandparents that aren't going to go with their grandkids, who went with their kids because of the wokeness. I mean, I'm sorry, but you grow up with fairy tales. You don't change a fairy tale. A fairy tale's a fairy tale. You don't alter the characters. You don't say, you can't kiss Sleeping Beauty. No, because there wasn't consent. Are you kidding me? It's Sleeping Beauty. You cannot alter a fairy tale.
You can't kiss Sleeping Beauty.
No, because it's not consensual.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's just, Kai, since you are the closest to understanding the ideas of Disney, and you're on both sides. Tell us.
Kai had mouse ears on 3 years ago.
He did. Matter of fact, in his job interview, he had a Mickey Mouse shirt on. But tell us about this Disney story.
I thought that was going to be between you and I.
Yeah.
No, I think this is crazy, and he brings up a good point with COVID and that it's been closed and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't think that changes things all too much, because in that case, they wouldn't have still raised the prices by $100, but from 2000. So in those 20 years, nothing major like COVID happened during that time. So you can't really just blame it on COVID being it. I think it's just more that they're continuously hiking up the prices because they can. They know that people will come, and I'm sure they've done the cost-benefit analysis of seeing how much will we lose if we do this versus how much will we make extra. But I think the biggest thing for me as well is just the plus. I know when we'd go there, we'd be there all day. We'd come in the morning and we'd leave after the fireworks at midnight.
Yep.
And obviously at that point you need 2 meals. It's now parking went up, and there's the snacks, and there's all the other stuff they sell.
$18 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, so it's that to me blows my mind even more. Of just there's so much more that's just plus.
It's
$1,000
for 4. Is that a fair number to put easily?
Especially
right?
because then they put the Disney store right. You have to walk by it.
$1,500 for 4. You're right.
It's like
$1,500 for 4.
Right.
Yeah,
fair.
It's all a profit machine in a sense. At that point, if it's one of those, if you walk in and everything's an upsell, then why are you also being charged that much initially?
But I'll go a different angle as well. So here's the other angle I go. When Jack Dorsey tweets out hyperinflation is coming to the States and the world, and people lose their minds, what are you talking about? This is hyperinflation. So whatever you want to do, this is a sign of when people say no, it's not coming. This is hyperinflation, and this leads to the story with Thanksgiving, right? When you're talking about Biden inflation with Thanksgiving.
But let's stay on Disney for 2 more seconds, because I want to put my wonk hat on for 2 seconds and be dorky and be geeky. This decision was made in the shadow of the third stimulus check being sent out to Americans, when they felt like they had all this extra cash that they were flush with, that they could run out and take this big vacation. So that's what management based this decision on. There's no more stimulus checks coming. I'm just saying, they might not have the audience that they think they have.
You think so?
They might not. I mean, how many American families can afford what you just said? $1,500 for a minimum for a day.
This also doesn't include if it's somebody like us that would have to travel there. This is assuming you're just driving up and you're parking there.
Part of me loves this. Let me explain to you why I love this. I'm going to tell you why I love this. Majority of people that go to Disneyland, what wealth bracket are they on? Is it low income, middle income, upper, or wealthy?
I'd say middle.
I agree. Okay, perfect. Guess who has the biggest voting power in America?
The silent majority in the middle.
Okay, and the middle, right? So the middle's going to go and they're going to say, what the hell is going on? Then they're going to say, maybe this inflation conversation isn't bullshit. Maybe this concept of constantly printing money and sending money to people, maybe it doesn't work, and now we're feeling it.
Yep.
So there's a part of me likes the fact that this Disney thing can become a social experiment for families to say, pump the brakes. We ain't going to Disneyland. How much are the tickets? Are you out of your mind? There's no way in the world. And then they're going to say, you know what? I think we need to stop kind of this printing money type of situation.
You know, and the other thing too is if they're going to jack the prices up to this level, if you have a couple kids, Disneyland, if you live in Southern California, is a must thing that you have to go X amount of times. I wouldn't have a problem at $1,500 if it was a great day. But if you end up spending this kind of money and it's not the same and you're a little offended and then it's too politically correct and you're annoyed over here, then you're thinking, what the hell? I'll never come back here again. What a waste of your time and money.
Because I think with that as well is people are willing to pay a higher price if you're getting a better experience for it. But if you're paying just to pay and you can't have fast passes and you're standing in line all the time and all this other stuff anyways, then that's more where I see the discrepancy
Here's the other part.
You're paying way more than it's worth.
Here's the other part. When you're doing a business, like let's just say they had 2 major new shows or new thing that they built or a new experience, and then you announce this, guess what I'm going to say? Okay, cool.
Fair enough.
I'll come because I'm going to test out the new Viper, the new Superman, the new whatever thing,
that's
right?
That new Star Wars thing here in Orlando.
And at Disneyland. It was the Star Wars thing that was the big debut a couple years ago.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is today, like if you're doing something today to increase it like this, you got to kind of give the audience
you're
to
making
say,
it better.
Here's why you want to come, because we just announced a adults, and the kids this and this. Then maybe, but you just do it like, hey guys, we're raising the prices.
Yeah,
okay,
Right.
that's not how this works. But it works because so many things are tied to each other, and the American people today have to sit there and say, listen, let's reconsider how we vote. We have to pay. A guy yesterday, Bernie Sanders tweeted something. He says 3 words: tax the wealthy. I retweeted at him and I said 3 words: you are wealthy. Okay.
Look in the mirror.
Then a guy says, but you don't understand. Bernie never said he has a problem not paying the taxes, even if he increases it. He doesn't mind paying those taxes. I said, oh, really? Is that why when he was going on his campaign trail, he was not paying his employees the $15 minimum? He was paying them less than $15 minimum, but he was telling everybody else to pay $15 minimum. So the hypocrisy eventually shows up in your finances and how you spend your money. So yes, I mean, these ideas of people just imposing the pain on others, eventually you're going to feel it yourself as well.
I will just say this about Disneyland. One of the best things about it for me was I hate roller coasters. I could go on It's a Small World and kill a good 45 minutes to an hour where I wouldn't have to be brought onto a stupid roller coaster. I hate them. So
stupid.
I'm probably the only person that likes It's a Small World. You hear that song the whole time.
Yeah, and
then
it stays in your brain the whole day.
You really look like you're struggling with there's an emotional challenge going with you in Disney and some roller coaster.
What did you
rides.
experience on a roller coaster?
He had a bad experience.
Can't you be afraid of heights? I am afraid of heights.
Are you really, though?
Oh my God!
Oh, well,
Get me on a ski lift. I almost freak out.
No, you're being sarcastic.
I am
or
100% serious. I cannot deal with it.
Well, listen, we were just going to say we were inviting you and Shonda to Aspen to go skiing together, and maybe this just got canceled.
Yeah.
I'll be the guy in the lodge all day.
He'll be in the lodge in the hot tub, having his shots for breakfast.
Shonda, you got to
Dash
work
is
on
old enough
top.
to go, so he can do his thing.
Right on the slopes. Oh, he's so interesting.
All right. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.